morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Yes, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Mastermind City.
Yeah, we're in our new podcast studio. We're still setting up. So the lighting, the shadows aren't perfect, but we just thought we'd give it a shot today to see how it looks.
And sounds and everything else.
Yeah,
so anybody out there giving us a comment, that kind of stuff, let us know. DMs is usually where to get us.
Yeah.
Because that's where we usually get the comments. That's where we usually get people, is through direct message. I feel like that's the way that people communicate now.
Yeah, I mean, if you send me an email, I remember somebody last week, we were in the car and somebody said, we're waiting for me to respond. And I'm like, well, did you text me to tell me you sent an email? Because if you didn't, I'm not going to respond because I can't even see my email.
Well, that's the world we're in. Like, yeah. People go, okay, so I receive information through texting, email, voicemail, voice notes. Don't even get me started. Please do not send me a voice note through text. I'm begging all of you. All of that. And I'm like, and then, direct messages through Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Like, I'm having a conversation over here. I'm having a conversation. I can't keep up.
And that begs the question to, as a small business owner or even any business, how do you reach people now, right? Mm-hmm. Because I think everyone always just assumed that you'd send emails out, which are still valid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Creating an email list and making sure that you reach out to every single person is important. But I think more important is that you have to cover all bases now.
Yeah.
There isn't the days of just doing one communication or over. So, you can't think that if you're posting on Instagram, everyone's going to see you. They're not.
No.
If you're going to post on LinkedIn, is everyone going to see you? No. If you just email, no. But if you have people on your email list and you don't email them, that's a problem too.
Exactly. And I think the challenge is that we're making assumptions.
Yeah.
We're making assumptions, but I posted on social media. Therefore, they've seen it, they know about it, and they understand it. And then, of course, Instagram has their broadcast channels. So I'm some people are using them, some people aren't, some people know they exist, some people don't.
I find them a little annoying.
Well, and and I know why they created it. And they created it simply because a lot of people are communicating via direct messages. So how do you get a lot of people into a direct message conversation so that you can tell them about announcements and what's going on with your business?
Yeah, and it's kind of like, the one thing I when I said I'm annoyed, it's because of how it's not the actual announcement, it's how people are using it.
Exactly.
Right? If they're using it to announce stupid things, then there's no point. But if you use it, think about it as more of a group, right? Yeah. It's like your Facebook group, but not as annoying as a Facebook group. So I'm sorry.
It's Facebook. Sorry.
I don't like Facebook. Sorry, guys. So it's fine if you're in it and whatever. But I think, if you're a Gen Z, there's no way you would be on Facebook.
No, and nor would they subscribe to a broadcast channel because they're probably over on Discord.
Yeah.
We won't even go there now. But and that begs the question to public conversations, which is, again, I can choose to join the broadcast channel. Yeah. I can then choose my notifications and receiving information, that kind of stuff. If somebody's posting on Facebook, I can see that. If they post in a group, I probably won't see it.
Yeah.
So where do you go? Where do you go? And email, we had that conversation where I received an email from something. It was very well explained by a company that I follow. I understood it because there was more space and I looked at the email. So I think email is still
really important if you are reaching out to people that are already invested in you, right? Yeah. They've already signed up for your emails. So if they've signed up, then email them because they said, yes, please, we want information.
No, but I don't want to bug them.
We get that a lot.
No, I don't want to bug them. I don't send them emails.
Our clients say that all the time. Oh, then they'll unsubscribe. Well, because they're not interested anymore. So let them unsubscribe.
Absolutely.
Right. So, but I think the mistake a lot of small businesses make is they assume that, posting on one platform is going to get them clients. And
posting one time.
Yeah, posting one time. You have to post a lot over and over and over again before people start realizing what you're doing. And I guess, for me, I think the problem with a lot of small businesses is they pick one lane and they stay in it. And it happens to be a lane that I'm not in, like Facebook. if they decide that their Facebook group is their prime vehicle of communication. It's a problem for me and a problem for a lot of customers because we don't use it.
Right.
So just like Instagram, if you only do it on Instagram and they're a Facebook user or a LinkedIn user, they're never going to see it. So I think you need your prime communication, which is your email list, because those people are vetted. Yep. They want to be in. In terms of a Facebook group, I think depends, right? If you have a Facebook group for your client base, your customer base, cool. However, you are limiting it because nobody who is not already one of your clients or customers is going to be in that group. So you're talking to yourselves.
Right. And that doesn't help you gain new, right? Which is where an email list, like I've signed up for email lists and I go, I'm curious. I'm interested. I want to know more.
Yeah, tell me more.
I'm not a client yet. I'm not a customer. But if you continue to send me emails, even if they're already pre-scripted, I'm good with that. I'm good through sequences. Obviously, that's what we teach. It's all good, but I still feel like I'm getting more information because what do they say? You have to be in front of somebody like 6 or 7, 8 times, I think, probably 50 now.
Yeah, a lot more. So
to get them. So if I'm constantly seeing their name in my inbox, then I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Or I read the email. Okay, that's cool. Eventually, I will become a client.
Yeah.
Because you're giving me information and it's easy. You're laying out how to become a client. You're laying out how to work with you. You're not bugging me.
And what we, it's interesting because we sign up for lots of things, right? Because that's what we help our community with. And every time we sign up for something and it says, oh, join, it's in our Facebook group, we stop. We don't even go any further. And then we're like, oh, so they don't really want to cater to everyone. They only want to cater to the Facebook community. That's how I interpret it. And I don't like that. So if you are really vested in that, that's cool, but you have to make sure that you reach out to other people. And I still think you're missing the boat if you're not doing emails.
Absolutely. And then we've talked a lot about community, right? Having private communities, which are not on a social media platform, because again, you're missing out. Just like if you're trying to market to Faye and you say, join a Facebook group, it's not going to happen. So that internal community is very important. We're not saying not to have that. No, we have a community. You can join our community. Yeah. You can reach out. You can talk to us. You can speak to other members. You can have that communication channel and those discussions and all of that. Very, very important to have. Yeah. But when you're marketing in general, you need to think about all the different avenues of people that you're marketing to. You need to market to your internal people, can continue to nurture those relationships. You need to market to your email list of people who are curious, right? They've signed up. Therefore they want more information. So give them more information through their email list. But you also have to think about social media in general. So people who are maybe just click that follow button and they're not ready to go on your email list. So you have all of those different levels of people that you have to market to. And I think sometimes we get short-sighted to think, well, I'm going to build a community. Yeah. But how do you get people into that community? You still have to market to the people external. Yeah. To your
Unless
business.
You've got so many clients that you don't need anybody new. So if you do, congratulations. That's great. We're always looking for new people to join our community.
Always.
And I guess let's go one step further. So if you guys have all figured it out, yes, you need to go back and analyze and see, am I posting everywhere? Am I actually posting for new people, or am I just posting to give information to my existing client base? You should look at that first. And number 2 is when you figured out that you have to post everywhere, then read your posts before you post, because sometimes there's not enough information, right? And you might think people understand what you're talking about. Like you might have a new product, or you have new hours, or you want to launch some new service. And so it's so vague because you came up with a cool title that nobody really knows what it's about, right? So it can't just be, here's what's happening and that's it. It's like, give people details, do a carousel, do a story, do a talking head, do whatever you need to do, but tell people what is involved. Treat them like they have never seen you before and they've never heard of your business.
Because you have to keep in mind, and in today's world of search, there's voice search. There's no longer, people don't really even use hashtags anymore because you don't need to use a hashtag to find it in a search. So if somebody's looking, it's very possible. And again, we talk about that whole funnel piece, right? That top of funnel, people have never heard of you. They didn't know you existed. They can't do business with you unless they know you exist.
Yeah.
So they found you because they're searching for something awesome. And then they go to a post and they feel like an outsider because they're not part. So that's where community posts come in, right? Go to your community, go to your group. That kind of stuff, very important, but that's more nurturing. You've already got them in, you're nurturing them. But think about the person who's never heard of your products, never heard of your services. They don't know how to work with you. They don't know what to do. They don't know what that first step is. What are they seeing?
And I cannot emphasize enough the power of your link in bio, right?
Yes.
So I see, I'm always going into people's feeds that I like, right? That I find, oh, that's interesting. And then when I don't know what they actually do, like what is their service, I go to their, it doesn't say link in bio. I click on their bio link and then I can see what I can get from this person.
Yeah.
Right. And if you don't have that filled out, then go ahead and do it. And it's different in every different platform, but you guys get the gist of it. It means that give them somewhere to go. One of the cool things that I see a lot of people do on Instagram is that their bubbles, their highlight bubbles, or their pinned posts, the top 3 pinned posts are exactly what they do. So that they treat those 3 pinned posts as a website.
Yeah.
And essentially it'll say a little bit about information. The second pin will be about the services or products they provide. And the third is how to get in touch. And then you can go ahead. It might say, go to my link in bio. And once you're there, you can click onto their calendar link, or you can click onto their website or book a call, or, here, download my free report, whatever it is. But give them more information. So for those of you who don't think it works for you because you're a small business and blah, 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 you can simply say, look, if you're doing a promotion and you can't fill in all the information onto your one post, then you can also say, for more information on your post, go to link in bio. And when they click, you can either direct them to a page or a full document, download this, do this, whatever it is. But give them more information than you can possibly think of.
And the thing, I guess it's interesting because I'll go to TikTok and I'll see somebody talk about something. I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. Or I really like him. He's funny, or she's this, or she's sarcastic, or she's whatever.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, who are they? And that's when they go to the bio, right? So that's the concept, right? I'm like, something in my For You page or something that's just popped up on my feed.
Yeah.
And I go to their site. So it doesn't matter whether on Instagram, Twitter /X, Twix, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Everybody goes to your bio. LinkedIn, even LinkedIn in your profile, you have a link that people can go to. So make use of that one link.
Yeah.
Because then I'll be like, oh, I see that they do multiple things. The part that annoys me is that there's one.
Yeah.
I go to link and I'm like, really? Like they have one thing that's offered, and it's like a US store or something like that. I'm like, well, I'm not in the US. That doesn't help me. But if you're virtual and you offer things globally, make sure you have those different offers so that at least I can see, oh, you're a coach. Oh, you also sell products. Oh, you also sell services. Oh, I can book a call. Oh, I can download this. Again, I can dip my toes in where I feel comfortable, and I can go and I can download that one item, and then I get on your email list, and then you can continue to communicate with me. That's really where sort of all the beginning of that communication starts.
We've seen some small businesses doing it really, really well. Like everything is laid out. You know exactly what they do. They post regularly, and you understand their posts. Yeah. And we see some that you immediately think, I guess they don't need any new clients because they don't really understand, right? So I think there is the number one step again is to go ahead and sit down and analyze your posts and what you've been doing, but don't do it by yourself. Do it with somebody who doesn't really know your business that well, because they're the ones that are going to be able to say, oh, I didn't really get what you're doing. And trust us, we get it all the time. We have somebody that tells us all the time if they don't understand what we're doing, because they're like, that post doesn't make sense. Okay, let's change it. So that's really, really important if you really want to do something that's more meaningful. We were just looking at, we saw something come across our feed, which was an Eventbrite listing, essentially, right? And that was great. We were like, oh, it's an Eventbrite. And then the first thing we said was, is there a website that we can get more information? And it really was vague. So we actually had to Google the company
that
name
posted it
to see what they did. So if you're doing Eventbrite, anything like that, give it a link so that you can go to the main site so that you look legit, that your business is legit. Lots of really great events on Eventbrite, and I would probably not go to 80% of them because there's not enough information or links to tell me that it's a valid company.
Well, and that's what I mean. Like, think about the person that doesn't know anything about your company, your event, or anything that you're doing. Think about them. Think about the person I go, well, does this make sense to somebody new that found it? Because that's why we do this, right? I mean, we hear all the time about keywords, SEO, searchable terms, look these up, make sure. Well, what happens when somebody does use one of those terms or one of those keywords and you're found? They're confused because you spend a lot of your time writing that post for somebody that already understands what your event is about, or understands what your product already is, or they've already purchased from you. And again, those are great, but there needs to be different types of posts and there needs to be different pieces of information. So if we already knew what this company was, that's great. We didn't need to know. We didn't need to go to the link. But at the very, very bottom, it was, hey, if you want to learn more, like check out our website. And there was no link.
Right.
And that doesn't make sense. So again, I think having somebody else, I think you're right, having somebody else review it that doesn't know a lot about your business. Yeah. Does this make sense? What's going on? Is it clear? How can you enter my business? How can you buy my products? How can you buy my services? Is it clear?
Yeah, I mean, it's a simple, we always go back to the same thing, and that's just your signature message, right? What is it that you want to tell people? It's back in the old days when people would network and they would say, how's your business? And somebody would always say, oh, it's great. And so you never thought about them, right? You never thought about sending their people their way because they just said it's great. So think about instead as you were networking and somebody says, how's your business? You would say, it's good, but I'm always looking for new clients. Yeah. So that's the same thing you must think of as a small business owner. Your business might be good, but you always have to be looking for new clients because you never know when those clients will go away, right? Yeah. You don't know the lifetime value of every single client you have, and you still have to, if you're bricks and mortar, have to pay the rent, have to pay the utilities. Those bills are still there. Same thing as if you're a coach or a home business, same thing, you still have lots of bills to pay and they're never going to go away. So just because you might say, I need 10 clients, I have 10, doesn't mean you stop looking. And even if you say, I don't have any more space to bring this new client, it's okay, because by the time you bring the new client, somebody's going to be gone.
Exactly. Or you can say, you know what, I am fully booked right now, but maybe there's a wait list. Maybe there's opportunity to bring somebody in. I think the worst thing that happens is, they go, oh, you know what? I'm good. They stop networking because their business is really good. They stop posting. They stop marketing. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, wait a minute. We need more clients. I just lost 2 because maybe for whatever reason.
You never know.
And then all of a sudden you see them at networking events again, and you see they start posting again and all of that kind of stuff. So when you go in waves like that, people start to question whether you do really need or want, from a referral perspective, new clients and customers, which is why you always need to be focused on all the different levels of your funnel and of your customer acquisition and knowing where they're coming from. And we've talked a lot about posting on different social media platforms, which is why that frequency effect, which we talk about in one of our webinars, we talk about that frequency effect being so important in today's world because people do switch platforms. We're on 2 different platforms as our primary. If you wanted to get both of us, you would need to post in multiple locations. We're not necessarily always going to see it in the same place.
And if you post on Facebook, I'm never going to see it. Stacey will.
I go on Facebook every once in a while. I like it. But mainly do I go on for personal. Sometimes I forget to post on Facebook, but I do go to some of the local groups. Yeah. And they're still very valid.
Absolutely.
For sure. But you need to think about all the different marketing channels and not just, okay, well, I'm good. My business is fine. I'll focus on internal. I'll focus on those relationships. No. you always need to continue to focus on bringing new people in.
And if you're looking for clients, and you might be saying to yourself, yeah, I'm actively looking, I actually hired somebody to do ads for me. Great. But again, they're doing ads, so they might get that right client, but what does that client see once you retarget them to something else?
Yeah.
Is it valid still? Is your website have enough information, or your Facebook group, wherever you decide to send them? Is there enough information for your ad to actually work? It's a struggle, that one, right? So we're always playing with different things. We're always looking for new things. We will welcome new clients anytime. So if you are in the need, absolutely come to us. And that's what you should be saying to all of your customers and clients. Whatever you own, you should be saying, hey, do you know anyone that might love the experience here that you could bring?
Yep. Yeah, because you're right, so many people back, networking, it's like, how's business? Awesome, great, because you did not want to say that things were not well. So therefore, if things are not well, they are fantastic. And if you say they're fantastic, that must mean you must be successful. Therefore, they're obviously going to refer you clients because everything is fabulous. Well, no. If you're not going to be able to have the time to service those clients, then I'm not going to refer them to you. So yeah, that wording is really important. And I'll refer them
to someone else who does the same thing, who's actually said to me, hey, do you know anyone that could use my service?
Exactly.
Right? Or do you know anyone that could, benefit from the products I sell or the services I do in my bricks and mortar business? Is there anyone can you give us a review? Can you give us a testimonial? Can you give us a post? Ask people. And when they don't do that, ask them again, right? Ask them again to help you by spreading the word. I think most people in general want to be helpful. I can't imagine people not wanting to promote businesses, right? Like, get together with other like-minded businesses and share each other's information, because it really does help. Just because you look at somebody as competitive, it doesn't mean you are. And they might offer something, a synergy that's unique and different, but still close enough that you have the same type of customer base.
Yeah, and collaborations are so huge. We were just talking yesterday about different people that we know who have come together, individuals who do different coaching businesses have come together and they've started to collaborate because they've realized that together they can present to their own individual group plus together. So I think it's really important. I think, again, back in the day, a million years ago, you started to kind of go, oh, you do the same thing, and they started to push back. So basically just imagine, you go to an networking event. My business is fabulous, AKA I don't need any more clients because I'm making enough money. Then you meet someone who has something similar to what you do, and you go, I don't want to talk to you. I only want to talk to people who are potentially my client. Well, what you forget is the people that they know. Well, I don't need your services. Well, you don't stop talking to them because you don't know who they know. Yeah. So that's the other piece that I think is really funny is from the past, that I think we've started to understand how to shift our thinking, how to shift the way that we talk. So yes, go to a networking event and say, or online in your social media, explain what you do, how to get new clients, how your current members can help you get new clients in, and say, yes, everything's great. I can always use new clients. I'm always looking to take on new clients, even if maybe your current workload is completely full. Yeah. But if you run a community, you always want to get people into that community. And again, email, like always think about that stuff, right? Email, social media posts, all the different types of posts that you can do. And like I said, always remember to ask somebody else to look at your posts, because sometimes, and we are at fault of this as well, sometimes you're too close to your own business.
Most of the time.
To be able to see it. It's like, well, we know what we're trying to say. Well, that doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, I know what Faye talks about. She knows what I'm saying, and that's great, but we're not in our own world. We need to make sure that we communicate that out to other people.
Yeah. So if you do need more information about actually your signature message and what do you really do, you can join our community. There's a bunch of free resources that will help you get started. So you can join for free. It's not a trial. It's just free. Go download our free information, and that's to get you started if you haven't been clear on your message and what you need to do. So it is hub.themastermind.city.
themastermind.city. And if you do want to jump into a trial, again, we have a 7-day free trial that you can actually jump in to one of our coaching calls. You can go to check out our entire library of resources and courses. You can do a coaching call, which is obviously a coaching call. So you can come, you can ask us anything, you can get feedback from other people in our community.
We'll be happy to take a look at all your posts and tell you what we think, especially if we don't know you.
Exactly.
It'd be easy for us to say, okay, well, this is what I think you do. We're not sure.
Is it correct?
Right? Or we might say, you're doing an absolute amazing job.
Keep it up.
Yeah.
And you get to meet everybody in our community. You get a networking event as well as part of that. So you can check out everybody that belongs to the network, which is on Fridays. So you kind of get access to everything. So if you do want to do the free trial, absolutely sign up for that as well.
Yeah. So what are you going to do when we stop? You're going to go look at your posts.
Exactly. Go to look at your posts and see if you think, if you didn't know you, would you want to do business with you?